Okay, welcome to my basement, and I've got my camera set up where I can use both hands. Crazy. So I went to Maxon Hyundai for a recall on my 2010 Hyundai Elantra Touring, which is the wagon. The 2010 Hyundai Elantra Touring, which I got from my father. I took over his payments because my wife didn't want to drive stick, and it was just a convenience. And the car has been okay. My big complaint with the 2010 Hyundai Elantra Touring, it's actually called something completely different in Europe, and it's very not like the Hyundai Elantra, and the parts are like just all different. It had a different wiper motor, which the thing had to replace. It uses different front headlight bulbs, and the problem is, if you go to like AutoZone or whatever, like they just it's hard. Like they don't distinguish the models very well. So what I usually do is I go to Napa Auto Parts, but even they've screwed up. And I trust Napa Auto Parts because when you get uh you know uh, uh half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of triple carbon receipt papers, that's what you get, and they get smarter people there. And as because of those carbon, actually they moved away from the carbon receipts. But anyway, they got smarter people at Napa Auto Parts. But I've had them screw up an air filter on me, and they took it back or whatever. But anyway, that's my main issue with the Elantra Touring. It's just like kind of a pain to get parts for, and it's just like I'm not. I like the wagon format, but I don't like dealing with it like it's like an exotic. I don't know. Next time I'm gonna get just Toyota Corolla. I have a Sienna and I had a Corolla before this, and I'm just gonna like have Toyota Corollas. I'm just gonna have super common cars where I'm not gonna deal with weird part issues. Um, that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the annoying prices on the things I declined, and these. The first good thing, I go in for the recall. They're relatively quick. They give me the Uber ride home, which I guess is cool because I can like tip. The Uber's free, but then I can do the rating, and I can do the tipping on that. So that's kind of cool. And then when I go back today to get it pulled up, they're actually relatively quick. The big issue was they were under construction at Max and Hyundai, so it's like a construction zone, and I couldn't figure out how to like get in without walking in through like the employee entrance. But anyway, I got in there, and I guess they were like so busy, like they're just like, okay, here's your receipt, you're free. Like no one tried to upsell me and all this stuff. No one tried to explain all this stuff to me. I guess that was on the phone call, so that was super great. I also, because my service advisor was off that I had yesterday was off today. That might have been part of why, like, it was just okay. Here you go, whatever. So these are the things they declined, and I'm just slightly annoyed by like pricing and stuff. So and inconsistencies, not the prices, but the it just doesn't. It's nonsensical. Wiper blade replacement 44.54 plus tax. Okay, that's a fair price. Cabin air filter replacement 99.95 plus tax. It's easier to replace a cabin air filter than a wiper blade. It's easier, okay? I'm sorry. Wiper blades, I'd sometimes rather just pull the whole arm off and get my socket and do it. And if that was like a thing you could, I mean, I've whatever. I've done it enough where I finally got the knack of it. But honestly, if there was a service where you could just get whole new wiper arms, and it's like you got the wiper arm with the blade attached, and then they dealt with the little clip thing, I'd be perfectly happy because I always feel like sometimes it's just a pain, especially if you buy the cheaper wiper blades, putting those on. Okay, I guess the mechanics are like okay, good at that, and obviously it's the C mechanics doing that, not the B or the A mechanics usually doing that, unless stuff is really put up. But why is it $100 replace the cabin air filter, which is cheaper than the wiper blades? I don't get that. Why? Because you don't even have to open the hood. You just pull off the stupid the glove box. Like you pull it off, you pull it out, you pull it in. I don't get that. So if they charge $100 to replace the wiper blade, that'd be fair. Like I get like mechanics got to make money, right? But I don't know. I don't understand that. I do not understand that at all. Um, is it because is it because like the mechanics just hate like opening up the glove compartment and everything pours out, and they take the glove compartment off and all that comes out? I mean, just throw a little, you know, strap a little duct tape on it or whatever. Whatever. Anyway. So that's just inconsistent. Engine air filter replacement. Once again, like, yeah, I just feel like all those things should be like closer to $90. Like either they should all be $50 or all be $90. Either one of those are fair prices for me. But I feel like the disparity between wiper blades and the air filters is kind of annoying to me. Um, you know, bulb license plate removal. Both bulbs are out. $74. That's fair. Actually, I would say that would. I think that would just take a little longer on flat rate time. That the book time for that should be a little longer to take off because you probably got to open the hood and like get some screws out. And I would actually say pay a mechanic 120 for that. So that just the inconsistency annoys me. Cool and flush, 189.95 plus tax. Yeah, I guess that's what a cool and flush costs, right? EFI service 179. I don't know. I've never done fuel injection cleaning or whatever, but fine. That seems fair. You get a weird tool in your fuel injector. I don't know what I guess I don't know how they do that. I don't know what they take apart. I'm not really familiar with how to get at the fuel and injector. Do you have to take the head gasket off? Is it just a I don't know. I don't know how that's attached. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a person that knows how to do the things above that. Yeah, fuel injection would be like where, anyway, whatever. It would go into you'd have to shoot the fuel into the engine just like the carb used to, right? Throttle body service. I actually kind of wish like throttle bodies, is that I kind of like want to know what throttle body service involves. And I wish I was kind of upsold in that, but whatever. I'm actually happy. I was in a rush. I'm glad like they didn't try to upsell me anything, but that's good to know that that's the thing. Maybe the idea. But I guess I can't comment on throttle body service like at all. I don't even know. Is that greasing something? Is that greasing the throttle body? Is that replacing it? What is that doing? Spark plug replacement, $251.24 plus tax. So the thing I'm really annoyed about here is if they took off the cap, they would see that I'd replace, or I don't know, maybe they wouldn't. I guess they don't have. Okay, so I have the original spark plug wires. Because the replacement ones were like expensive, but at 100,000 miles, I replaced the spark plugs. I torqued them properly. I used the proper dielectric grease. I have like a big tube of dielectric grease, which will last me a lifetime. And I guess that's an okay price because those wires are so friggin' expensive, which is why I didn't get them. I don't think I got them, or did I? Now I'm trying to remember. I might have. If I found them cheap, I replaced them. If not, I just said, screw it. If they ever connect. But anyway, maybe that's why they. I did it myself. If I ever want to talk to the dealer, I'm like, please record. I've replaced the spark plugs, but not the wires. I don't know. It's that thing you can do. So like all the Hyundai dealer service place I take it to will never ask me to do the spark plugs until the engine hits 200,000 miles. But I guess if that 251, if that includes keeping the wires, then I'm sorry, it doesn't take that long to replace the spark plug. That's maybe a $150 job. Why? Because you're gonna bust out the torque wrench. I mean, you pull the thing, you unscrew. I guess maybe that's the safety margin. Okay, you know what that is? Okay, here's that's the safety, because if you screw up and then you have to like rethread it, get the helix thread repair kit. Okay, I guess 251. I guess that's like a law of average thing, as opposed to like just assuming the best case of the spark plug replacement just goes according to plan, and that's like whatever. That's like $100 job, right? That's like half an hour, right? But if it screws up, then that becomes like 3 hours. So maybe what it is, they're like, maybe the people that make the flat rate book for once were like actually being kind to the mechanic, and simply saying, okay, like you might, yeah, spark plug could go south real quick, right? And law of averages. So hopefully most of the time, you get a car that like can properly, whatever, torque down or whatever, and properly greased, and the threads aren't whatever, and no whatever salt got in the threads or anything, and you just unscrew them, put some dielectric grease on them, put new ones in, and that works great. So then maybe the 251 makes sense. Otherwise, the only way the 251 would make sense if they're assuming an optimal, if they're not assuming that, if they don't assume, they call you back and say, oh, we have to charge you extra when we're replacing this because we had to replace a thread or something. If that's not included in this price, if that's like you call back the customer and be like, oh, your car is screwed up, your thread screwed up, and we had to fix that. If that becomes the case, where there's not like the price for the easy version of the job and the price for the expensive version of the job, then I would say the 251. I would hope that the 251 includes replacing the wires, which are ridiculously expensive, for what they are, because I don't know. I guess because, it's a service due to 100,000 miles, so they don't keep a lot of those on parts, but it's actually really annoying. If you ever had to like replace a piece of like plastic inside your car, like there's a little there's a little like closet. I don't know. There's a little compartment under my radio, with a little door that opens and closes, right? And one time, like I said, let me get a new one rather than try to like restore this one or whatever, figuring like it'd be like $20, which I'm sure like if I could go to Pick and Pull, which is the thing I'll talk about next. Um, but whatever. It was like literally like $300 for this piece of molding, and that I get is fair because that's not a thing they'd expect to like keep around or whatever. So that's just like you gotta assume just 10 years of sitting on the warehouse for that particular model or whatever. But spark plug wires like they expect like X amount of miles and stuff. They can jit that stuff better, right? They know that the average mileage of cars or whatever, and why don't they just make like three models of car, that have the same engine, but just make it so the freaking distributor cap and the engine are like the same distance apart, so you get to use the same set of wires, or just like I don't know, make a crimper thing, like make it so I can just like buy like wire of that gauge and like make those ends like crimpable and like have a crimp tool or something, right? So then it's like cheap, and then like once in my life I buy a $50 unitasker crimper thing to crimp those ends, and I build the wire myself because whatever. Anyway, that's it. So what did I want to talk about? Spark plug dealer. What were the thing I wanted to talk about with the crimpers with the they were the thing I was going to say I was going to talk about before I said thanks for watching. Unitaskers, dealer service, body, something about the body, something. I had a good rant about something. Anyway, thanks for watching.